Welcome to Family Business World. I'm your host, Dr. Dale Caldwell, and I have another special show, but this is a special show for me because this is the FDU Rothman Institute family. As you know, I'm the executive director of the Rothman Institute of Innovation and Entrepreneurship, and we have Maura Pniewski and Slavin, who are the backbone of the Institute. This is the entire Institute. And so, how are you both doing?
Great, doing fine.
Excellent, excellent. So again, this is an informal show. We really want people to know what we do at the Institute. They see all the different things that come out, and people think, well, you must have a staff of 10 or 15 people. But first, I like people to know. So Maura, how long have you been at Fairleigh Dickinson University, and how long have you been working at the Institute?
Next July 5th coming up, I'll be there 27 years. I started July 5th, 1993.
Wow, wow.
And it's changed quite a bit since, FDU has changed quite a bit since I started. I started in the age of typewriters and black and white computer screens. So, it's the noise in the office has gone down quite a bit because of the lack of typewriters, and Windows were just coming in when I started.
Interesting. Wow, wow.
Yeah.
And Sue, you've been on for how long? You've been at the Institute for how long?
Okay, and the Institute I started working with on a part-time basis in the middle of 2015,
Okay.
and on a full-time basis about July of 2017. So
Okay, okay.
it's like my fourth full year with the Institute.
Well, Maura, Maura is an institution at Fairleigh Dickinson, and really just an amazing person, and they both are. So Sue, tell me, you've been at Fairleigh Dickinson for how long in the Institute?
I will be there this summer for 4 years. Mm-hmm. So not quite as long as Maura, but we're getting there. I'm getting used to it all. Changes, I think for me, the biggest change is that we've become a little more focused on our mission, which I think has enabled us to really bring some great information to the business community and to the students. So it's been a great 4 years.
Well, and again, they are, and I say this for the audience, just amazing people to work with, and we formed a family, a work family. So our programs, as you've heard me say among different shows, we have a family business program, which is why we're doing this, and we have a Veterans Launching Ventures program, we have student programs, and Sue and Maura really make it happen. Sue, say something about, we have a small business series, and you really have been involved with that for a long time. Say a little bit about the small business series for the audience.
Sure. Well, I think that, as you have said, our mission is to really, promote research and support entrepreneurship. And one of our buckets, so to speak, is the small business community. So as an institute, our real goal is to create a relationship between the business community, become a resource for them. So our small business series in particular is a program that we run twice a year. We partner with Mass Mutual Tri-State in bringing panel discussions on the most topical issues at that time. So we do a spring and we do a fall. And these panelists come from a wide variety of companies and industries, so that we're bringing a good mix of viewpoints to our business owners and the real audience. And these have been in person, but I think we may have to go virtual in November, hopefully not. And small business owners is generally our audience for that. And it's been very successful. We've had great response, and our audience has really been building.
Yeah, it's really been wonderful, and the feedback. Some of the comments are I've learned so much about everything from cybersecurity to finance to operations.
Right.
Maura, you are our graphic design expert. That you are an artist. You do stuff for your church, as well as you are in charge of our flyers and websites. But tell me a little bit about what you've done for your church. I think it's important. I think it's frankly amazing what you've done.
Well, I belong to the Roman Catholic Church, and we honor saints. And most recently, I've been doing a series of. It's kind of hard to describe. I kind of between a painting and a poster, but it's all with paper. And I design a poster of the saint, of a particular saint. And I've done about 50 of these so far.
Wow.
And
Wow.
one of them is actually in my local, I have them framed in the local art shop. And they asked if they could put it in their selection of artwork to post on their website. So
How big are they? How tall are they? They're pretty big.
most of them are about between 5 and 5.5 feet.
Yeah,
tall.
I mean, these are gigantic. These are,
Yeah.
and so we have the benefit of that visual, that graphic visual eye for our flyers and our websites, which we'll get to in a second. But on the small business series, Sue, do you remember some of the comments that you've heard from folks who've participated? It really has been incredibly phenomenal.
It has been, and a lot of times business owners will say, I wasn't going to come, but I'm so glad that I did, or I never thought of that. Especially like with cybersecurity, like you said, we've had a variety of topics. Like we'll talk about economics and policy, and we'll talk about cybersecurity and working remotely, and kind of marketing on a shoestring, and even just a lot of like Facebook ads and things that small businesses can really take advantage of that they really didn't know. Because I think one of the biggest problems for small businesses is that, like us, they're a very small group of people, so the manpower is limited. So we really do try to help them find the most efficient ways to do their business with what they have. And I think that often they're very surprised at how much they can do when it's done as efficiently as possible. So I think that's one of the things we enjoy. We like for everyone to leave our events, virtually or in person, with something that they can take home and action, an actionable, point or something that they walk away with. So that's always the goal.
Well, and in addition to being a graphic designer, an artist, Maura has become an expert in YouTube and technology, and you've really helped to build our YouTube channel. Maura, what do we have on that? What do we have on the channel, and why is it worth visiting?
Well, when you gave me the task of trying to update it, I found over 120 videos that had already been posted there by previous personnel in the Rothman Institute. And I went through all 120 some odd videos. Amazing. And grouped them and put them into a playlist titled Small Business Lectures. They're very valuable. We even have one of Ralph Nader, so they had some celebrities in the past. So interesting viewing. Also, I've made 3 more playlists. One called the Family Business World TV playlist, and I'm sure you understand that this video will go into that collection. We also have one called Veterans Launching Ventures Insights, videos for our vets, and one called Business Insights, which are a collection of our Family Business Friday presentations, Zoom presentations. The theme lately has been managing in a crisis, how small businesses are dealing with the recovering from the coronavirus. So I think I've added about like 35 videos since I started, and it's just been self-taught. I really didn't know how to do it, and I had been in content management in the FDU website, so I guess that experience helped.
Well, and we mentioned that so what is it? It's the Rothman Institute of Entrepreneurship. What is the official line for the website?
With the Rothman Institute of Innovation and Entrepreneurship.
Yeah. Well, I think on the YouTube it may. I don't know if innovation's in there. It may just have that. But you can find it on YouTube. But the reason we highlight that is that is so important. There's so much great information. If you are dealing with this crisis, if you are a small business, if you're looking to sell your small business, if you're a big business, if you're looking to become a better executive, there's a video about everything on that YouTube channel. And it's really so important to really go there. And again, it's free information for small businesses. One of the things that we found is that so many business leaders are wonderful. They're overwhelmed with what they have to do to run their business, especially as they're dealing with this crisis. So we're trying to give them some information and resources so that they can use that to become better at growing their business and supporting their business and hiring staff. So we've talked about our research and supporting entrepreneurship with a special focus on family and veteran businesses. So let's talk about veteran businesses. Sue, you've really been quarterbacking, working with Shakti Kunz on our Veterans Launching Ventures program. Why don't you tell the audience what is that program and what's it all about?
Well, our Veteran Launching Ventures program is a free entrepreneurship course. And I think that part of the reason why it was created about 10 years ago, long before I was at the Institute, is because the military community because of all their training, it really lends themselves to entrepreneurship. Mm-hmm. The percentages, and Dale, I'm at a loss right now, but you probably know how the percentage of veterans that start their own businesses.
Right.
It's high.
It's very high, yeah.
But one of the areas that they often were lacking is their financial education, mm-hmm. and sometimes the ability to create that network of people around them when they come out of the military. So this course was sort of born out of that need to fill that gap. And it's a 7-week course. We in the past ran it twice in person and twice online. We of course have been virtual now for our last 3 cohorts, and we're on our 28th, so we're pretty proud of that. And it's a business planning course. Basically, there's a lot more to it than that, but Shakti really walks them through the marketing and the operations and the finance, and she does it with a group of incredibly dedicated consultants, mm-hmm. That help not only present the information in class, but they also work one-on-one with our students throughout the course and then for the 10 months following. And many, of course, of our student consultant pairings have worked for years, following the course. But it's made up of the lectures, guest speakers, and the videos that Maura's putting together also are a big part of the course. We'll be going forward because what we're trying to do now is we realize there's so many subject matters that we cannot cover in 7 weeks. Mm-hmm. And there's also a lot of subject matters that aren't relevant to every business. So maybe intellectual property or networking or some of these subject matters that fall into that category, we're doing videos, and Maura's setting up, a library for our students to get additional information on subjects that are very relevant to their business that we may not be able to cover in class. So that's going to be a really important addition going forward.
Well, and veterans, have served our country, and unfortunately, the number of jobs available to veterans is really not what it should be. And so many veterans, their best shot at really doing well and is really entrepreneurship, leading an entrepreneurial organization, working for an entrepreneurial organization. And so this program, which is geared specifically for people who who have been in the military and their immediate family members, as you said, takes them through this process, and we don't drop them off there. We really help them and support them as they go forward. But and I'm just so impressed with our consultants who come, and we typically have 1-to-1 or 1-to-2 consultants who actually work with the entrepreneurs. They don't do the work for the entrepreneurs, but they do it with them. And that's such a wonderful program. And so I'm excited that this summer we've had programs, we've had people from out of state, but we really made it a national program. And we just had our second cohort now, and we're going to take a break for commercials. When I come back, Maura, I want to ask you, how many different states, because Maura was really in charge with helping to recruit and get people to the program. So when I come back, we can talk about the different states that are participating. So we'll take a commercial break, and we'll be back to Family Business World in a few minutes.
Sponsored by Dr. Jacqueline. Take charge of your life personally, financially, and professionally. Visit drjacqueline.com to book an appointment today.
The session that we had with BCAT was really entertaining and enlightening. We were able to put together some very specific steps that we as individuals can take, and it was really fun to all come together and see sort of where we're going as a team and how we can all get there together.
We had a tremendous experience with the BCAT partners. One of the challenges that we have as an organization is to make sure that we have the right people in the right chairs doing the right thing. To do that well, you have to have synergy. You can try to dream up ways to make sure that your group does that, or you can rely on experts. We would recommend BCAT partners to anybody who's looking to take their organization to the next level.
Welcome back to Family Business World. I'm your host, Dr. Dale Caldwell.
It's worth noting.
I'm here with my team, Slavin and Maura Pniewski from the Fairleigh Dickinson Rothman Institute of Innovation and Entrepreneurship. We were just talking about our Veterans Launching Ventures program, which helps veterans develop business plans, and we really have a national program this summer that's fully subscribed. And Maura, what are some of the states of folks that have been interested in this program?
Well, I can tell you from New Mexico, we've had Maryland, Florida, Ohio, Washington, California, and Pennsylvania. That
is wonderful, and really serving the veterans. And we don't just stop there. We have partnered with Mike Ferraro, whose show I was on, and has Bridging the Gap show here at RVN TV, and the Bridging the Gap program, to work with him to help veterans find jobs, but also become entrepreneurs. So the reason I do a family business show is that the Rothman Institute was really the first in the Northeast to really have a family business program, the first university to do that. And so it's been around for 30 years. So what we call the Family Business Alliance is really an opportunity for family businesses to take advantage of the information, the resources, the support that we have at the Rothman Institute. So Sue, why don't I ask you, what is the Family Business Alliance? What are some of the components of that?
Okay, so the Alliance is a membership program, and it's really geared toward the family business owner and the next generation of owners. And we'll do, and actually the program has really grown. I think the pandemic has actually increased our ability to provide more information to our business owners. But in the beginning, it was monthly face-to-face forums that we would do for our owners, of course, and anyone in their company that the subject matter was relevant for. But one of the really, I think, unique pieces of the alliance was our peer-to-peer mentoring and coaching, which is when we would get the owners in a room together to talk about their issues, what works for them, what doesn't work for them. And then the next generation of owners had their own separate space to come in and also talk about issues that were unique to their situations, and with people in the same point in their careers or in their family business. So I think that was probably one of the most valuable pieces. And luckily, throughout the pandemic and being home and doing all this virtually, the university was really set up for online courses and had programs in place. So we were able to move our programs into a Zoom meetings and webinars and really continue and actually grow. So the forum has actually turned into a weekly Zoom call every Friday at noon. So we call it our Family Business Zoom at noon. So we encourage people to come and have lunch with us and learn a little bit or hopefully a lot. The benefit of coming to the actual Zoom call is that they're very interactive, and we take questions, and it's a very robust Q&A period throughout the call. But of course, if someone cannot join that, and we've really opened this up to all small business owners during this time, because we just wanted to be there, not just for our small business owners and our family business companies. But again, they're all taped. And so if a business owner cannot make the class, then Maura has been, creating this library of the calls so that information is accessible to anyone that can't make the call or anyone that just needs to rewatch the calls to get more information. But again, the benefit of really attending them is this very interactive format that we try to,
And it's really been wonderful. I mean, you and Maura have done a great job of making sure we have guests every week. And we, one of the things I wanted to start this Family Business Friday Zoom at noon, so that we kind of secured the 12 noon time on Friday. And we didn't know how long it would last. This really started in March when things were closing down because of the COVID-19 pandemic. And the whole focus of this was to really provide information to small family business owners to deal with the crisis. How do they apply for their federal PPP loans and the state EDA grants and the federal grants, and how do you deal with staff, and how do you deal with legal issues and accounting issues? And really, thanks to Maura and Sue, and I enjoy being the moderator. It's really been helpful. In fact, so helpful that we really anticipate doing this throughout the rest of the year, even as people start coming back to work. Because with Zoom, we're able to get guests that we couldn't get in person in the location. The other thing that I want to talk about is those peer-to-peer groups that I have the opportunity to facilitate. I'm a certified associate certified coach by the International Coach Federation, and so get a chance to work with 5 or fewer CEOs to really talk about issues, to say, hey, I think somebody's stealing from me, or I have to fire a family member, or we're having conflict in the family. And then in a confidential way, you can have that discussion. And we found, Maura, Sue, as we've heard, some businesses have been saved because of conversations that happen in our peer-to-peer group. So it's a lonely job being a CEO, and so the idea of having an informal advisory group once a month that you can talk to. So we encourage folks to really contact us if they can. So if they want to reach us, what email address should they reach us at?
I think Rothman@fdu.edu is the best.
Yep. Rothman@fdu.edu. Now, we've also, because we've done that, we've developed the Family Business World website, www.familybusinessworld.com website. And Maura, you really put much of it together. What's on that website?
All the interviews that you've been doing, Dale, for Family Business World. They're all on there. We have videos and audios. And now we have on the advice section, we have the Family Business Friday Zoom webinars. We've been loading them up. We have probably about 10 of them right now.
Okay.
So a lot of information there.
And also one of the things that we started last October, and so Sue, you have really really been quarterbacking our Family Business Awards, and the fourth week in October. Talk a little bit about our Family Business Awards.
Okay, and this is, now, what year is this? I don't even remember now. It's,
The
it's been
18th,
around for
the 28th, right? We're coming up on the 28th.
I think it is,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yes, that's right.
It's a recognition program just honoring the family-owned business, their legacy, their ability to transcend generation to generation, their community service, because these families-owned businesses we're finding, and one of the greatest things that we do, I think, is being able to connect with all these businesses and learn their stories. Is that they're really so ingrained in their communities, and they're the ones that are sponsoring the baseball teams and the churches and all these events and the schools and so this is our chance to just sort of say thank you and get their stories out and encourage people to do business, because it is part of our Family Business Week. So the whole week is sort of built around promoting these companies, doing little recognitions, doing events, encouraging other people to do events. And we do then honor a group of 10 to 12 families at our annual luncheon that we hold during that week. Family Business Week. It's the fourth week of October every year. And this year, we're hoping we will do this. Absolutely. We're hoping to do it in person, but it may be tweaked a little bit, who knows? But regardless, we will definitely be honoring, some of the best family businesses in New Jersey.
And
So we're hoping to hear their stories soon.
So Sue, how do we, if someone has a family business that they want, they think, and again, the categories are under 10 million and over 10 million.
Correct.
How do they send a recommendation for consideration for the award?
So our Rothman at fdu.edu website, there will be a Family Business of the Year Awards tab. The application is there. We have shortened it dramatically. It's like maybe 4 or 5 short questions. And I believe that, Maura, it is also on Family Business World. Is there a link also? Or Family?
To Family Business Week, there's a link to Family Business Week, which has to do with our luncheon
program.
Well, yeah, and so we're unfortunately we're almost at the end of time, and so one Family Business Week that we have created as a global week to encourage people the fourth week in October to identify and support a family business around the world. We want you to identify and support family businesses all the time, but we want a special week so that people can know how wonderful they are. And this year we're calling it Vote Family Business. It's in the midst of a presidential election. We're not taking sides. We're saying just vote family business, so you think about that. And then finally, we have our FDU Pitch Award, where we identify the best student entrepreneurs at Fairleigh Dickinson University. And then we participate in the statewide University Pitch Award. Sue, real quick, do you want to say where was that, and how many schools participated, how many universities participated?
Super exciting this year. It's 14 New Jersey universities compete, the top teams from each university. And last year we had a guest speaker from Nokia Bell Labs when Seton Hall was hosting, and they were so impressed with the competition that they decided that they were going to sponsor the entire event. So this year it was supposed to be held at their office at the Nokia Bell Labs, it was done virtually, which the students just pivoted and did without even a blink of an eye. But the really exciting part was that not only did they host and sponsor and pay for the event, but they also provided mentors for our student groups. So it was a really exciting event, and they're going to sponsor again next year. We just got an email.
And that's historic, because there have been more Nobel Prizes out of that building than anywhere else in the world. So unfortunately, we're at the end of time. It goes so quick. Again, thank you so much for watching Family Business World. Maura and Sue, thanks again for all you do for the Institute, and it's just a pleasure to work with you. And so we will see you again at Family Business Week next week. Take care. Bye-bye.